Hey you lot, and welcome to another episode of News You Might Have Missed. I'm your host Tom Lord, and on this show we look at a mighty mix of eclectic excerpts, hailing from news outlets, blogs and tabloid rags based around the globe. On today's show we've got woman sentenced in Sweden for having 1,000 hamsters in her apartment, man found with Kinder Surprise full of drugs in rectum, and noisy fish sex keeps Florida residents up all night. But first, many years of scientific research has been destroyed by a broken freezer. According to RTL News, during the Christmas holidays, the freezer of a progressive Swedish university broke down, destroying 16 cryogenic tanks worth of material. According to The Guardian, the samples themselves were usually cooled with liquid nitrogen, down to negative 190 degrees Celsius. But sometime between December 22nd and 23rd, the 16 tanks did not receive a new supply of liquid nitrogen. As a result, the freezer broke during the holidays, and research material from several institutions have been destroyed. According to this report, there was 43 million euros worth of damage done. Maybe have a backup? Maybe have another supply of liquid nitrogen? I don't know, seems pretty obvious to me. Texas deer in ram raid home invasion. According to ABC 13, the deer himself Kool-Aid manned right through the person's front window. According to the homeowner themselves, not only did the deer break in, the deer actually stayed the night. According to a statement from the homeowner, she opened a door and past where her stove was, the deer was just staring at her. After looking round the home, she realised the deer had just gone straight through one of the front windows. I sympathise with the deer, of course. Apparently the deer was being chased by a buck, but I also sympathise with the homeowner. I know that replacing windows can be very dear. Toddler gets stuck in Australian claw machine. According to AP News, the toddler got stuck after climbing into the claw machine looking for a toy in an Australian shopping mall. A video, apparently shared on social media by Queensland Police on Thursday, showed the toddler apparently sitting inside the glass wall box, just chilling, having a great time. According to the kid's father, he basically climbed into the prize dispenser, up and into the machine, within a split second. He could not believe how quickly this kid had done it. The officers and the parents encouraged the kid to get into a safe corner at the back of the machine and to cover his eyes while the police shattered the glass. At the end of the video, the kid was given a prize, hopefully one without any glass in it. But if it was my kid, I'd have probably left him there, done a bit of shopping and then possibly moved to Antigua. Man found with Kinder Surprise full of drugs in his rectum. According to the Daily Star, the man was found with the drugs after trying to fly to Dubai for a massive bender. According to the article, the man was caught when the sniffer dogs at Manchester Airport seemed to take a right shine to his backside. The man refused body scans, but no drugs were found during a strip search. It was then when later in his cell he went to the loo and 2 Kinder eggs wrapped with cling film were discovered. The 2 plastic eggs were stuffed with 40 ecstasy tablets and 31 grams of ket. The drugs themselves were worth thousands of pounds. And it's safe to say that the man didn't go on his holiday to Dubai, and nor did he take any of the drugs. But I want to know, did he eat the chocolate first? 24 litres of cola saved the life of a British donkey. According to RTL News, the British donkey named Joey was in a bad spot. He couldn't eat, couldn't drink, and was in a lot of pain. The donkey had a blockage in the stomach that could not be cleared. According to the article, the veterinarians gave the donkey 24 litres of cola over the course of 4 days, and this was designed to go down the nose through a tube into the stomach and break the obstruction. All went well with the procedure, and now the donkey is back to its cheerful self. I'm really glad that the donkey is back to its full health. If roles were reversed and I had to drink 24 litres of cola, all I would have is crippling heartburn and type 2 diabetes. Whorey penguins mating twice in one season due to climate change. According to abcnews.net, Whorey little penguins living on Phillip Island off Australia's southern coast are having so much sex, there's now more than 40,000 of them. This is all down to the increase in sea surface temperatures, which has also increased the number of fish swimming in the coastal waters around there. According to Andre Chiaradia, the influx of food meant the opportunistic little penguins had more time and energy to mate. I certainly wouldn't have thought that an increase in food would have made you want to have more sex. For me, after a large Domino's, all I want to do is lie on the couch, think about my life choices, and contact the nearest Weight Watchers. Child in Eindhoven finds a hand grenade in the playground. According to new.nl, the child found the hand grenade in the playground on Wednesday afternoon. The child then alerted the officers, who happened to be in the area. The police then called the Defence Explosive Ordnance Disposal Service, who then took the hand grenade away with them. According to the article, it's not clear how the grenade ended up in the playground, but a spokesperson said it was a modern grenade, not one from the Second World War. A grenade in the park is certainly different from my upbringing. In my local park as a kid, it was usually condom wrappers and the needles of the local smackheads. A woman in Sweden has been sentenced for having around 1,000 hamsters in her apartment. According to omni.se, the woman was sentenced for violating the Animal Protection Act, and according to the article, the rodents must have been kept in small cages and buckets. The County Administrative Board made a check after neighbours complained of a very strong smell and beeping from buckets on the balcony. When questioned, the woman said she was taking care of about 100 hamsters for a family member, but that the animals multiplied quickly. The woman was actually quite happy that the authorities showed up. She didn't know where it would have ended otherwise. I think I'm fairly sure where it would have ended up. The woman's face being eaten by a million hamsters, and a hamster king rising from the flesh of a dead woman. Winson Churchills' false teeth sells for £18,000. Gold-mounted false teeth worn by Sir Winson Churchill have been snapped up for more than double the £8,000 guide price. Grim. Who is buying some dead person's false teeth? Apparently the wartime Prime Minister suffered with dental problems most of his life, and in his 20s lost several teeth. The winning bid totaled £23,000, including auction fees from a UK collector bidding online. The director of the auction house said it was one of the most unusual items they've ever sold. To their credit, whoever made the actual dentures must have been pretty good at their job. It would have been a very different speech if, when he said we will fight them on the beaches, he said we will fight them on your shishy. French volunteer firefighter convicted of starting fires. According to RTL News, a 53-year-old volunteer firefighter has been sentenced to a 1-year suspended prison sentence for arson. Apparently he told the judge when last summer his region was hit by devastating wildfires, he wanted to feel what it's like to be an arsonist. Apparently last year the firefighter had tried to start a fire in a patch of grass near his hometown. He lit a burning piece of paper, but thankfully a passerby saw it. Once he was taken into custody, he stopped working for the volunteer fire department, and then a judge sentenced him yesterday to a 1-year suspended prison sentence. He must also pay a €1,000 fine to the local fire brigade. In the end, it doesn't look like firefighting was specifically for him. Perhaps a job at a fireworks factory, or an incinerator, or as a professional rap battler. New car crashes through their house after their owner forgets to put the handbrake on. According to ABC News, a car rolled through a Carricalinga home on Saturday after the driver forgot to put the handbrake on. Police say the brand new Nissan Patrol was parked on a hill just overlooking Carricalinga about 1:30 on Saturday. The unattended car rolled downhill through a reserve and collided with a house on Elizabeth Crescent, exiting out the other side, off the balcony and landing in the front yard. Thankfully there was no one inside the car or the house at the time of the incident, but a completely made up and completely untrue story suggests that the car itself had been watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off the night before. Cop sacked after pilfering crashed truck cheese. According to Spiegel.de, a police officer from Rhineland-Palatinate helped himself to the load of a truck that had been involved in an incident. The police officer stole around 180 kilograms of cheese. The officer in question illegally took 9 packages of cheese from the accident just over 5 years ago. Apparently the officer tried to cover it up too. The police officer is said to have told untruths to his superiors. To be honest, I don't really understand this crime. 1 wheel of cheese, yeah, fair enough, it'll last in the fridge for a bit. But 9 packages, 180 kilograms? This guy must have wanted a really good time. 200-foot high transmission tower stolen in Alabama. According to NOS, a local radio station in the American state of Alabama is temporarily off air due to a theft of a 60-metre high transmission tower. The theft was apparently discovered by gardeners, who, when they told the local radio station it had gone, the radio station said, "What do you mean the mast is gone?" Apparently the tower was located in a wooded area behind a poultry farm, and according to the director, thieves cut the cables of the mast and removed it. Also, transmitting equipment was stolen from a building nearby. A new mast for the station will cost somewhere in the region of $100,000 to $150,000. The director has said, "Many people have called me to ask if they can help, but unless they have a 60-metre high transmission tower and a medium transmitter at home, I wouldn't know how." Bit of a mad story then. I'm not even sure where the police are going to start. But I imagine this year's decorations somewhere in Alabama are going to be absolutely spectacular. Finnair is starting to weigh passengers now before boarding. According to UPI, European carrier Finnair is now weighing passengers at the gate. This is to estimate how much the jet will weigh at takeoff. But it's not mandatory. They're not just being weighed by themselves though. They have to hold their carry-on baggage with them. The weights, however, are not linked to any individual passengers or tickets and are completely anonymous. And only the customer service agent working at the measuring point can see the total weight, so you can participate in the study with peace of mind. So you can either decline or it's anonymous. Great news for us fatties then, because when you've eaten your weight in airport Burger King and drank yourself still in the bar, the last thing you want is anybody knowing your weight. Noisy fish sex keeps Florida residents up all night. According to the New York Post, the noisy bass-heavy groans of fish having sex are keeping Florida residents from having any sleep. Residents of Tampa Bay, Florida are hearing mysterious rolling bass tones that vibrate their walls at night and rob kids of their sleep. The people themselves have absolutely no idea where this bass is coming from, but one scientist in the area seems to have the right idea. One scientist from the Marine Laboratory and Aquarium in Sarasota has installed marine microphones in the area to confirm his theory. The theory that the din stems from the mating noises emitted by the aptly named black drumfish. The scientist was said to say, the noise emitted by the black drum during their winter mating season can hit up to 165 water decibels. When produced en masse, the sounds become audible on land. It's stories like that that make me think that Florida shouldn't be inhabited. If fish sex is keeping you up at night, maybe move somewhere normal, like Utah, Las Vegas, or any city with a fentanyl epidemic. Hertfordshire police officer demoted for selling his trousers. This story from the BBC said an inspector who sold his police trousers for £4 online has had his rank reduced after being found guilty of gross misconduct at a hearing. Owen Hurley of Hertfordshire Police admitted to selling the items on Vinted. He said that the trousers had been in his wardrobe at home for a long time and he wanted to make space after redecorating. Mr. Hurley was reduced to the rank of sergeant straight after the case. And apparently, the trousers were spotted and reported to the force by the member of the public in summer 2023. They didn't have a police logo or insignia, but he admitted the listing on Vinted indicated that they were police issue. So, quite stiff repercussions for selling a pair of pants on Vinted. Imagine the repercussions then, if he was to sell his helmet on OnlyFans. And finally, police find cock in Rotterdam hotel room. According to NOS, a rooster was found in a hotel room in Rotterdam yesterday. The owner had already checked out, and because the animal ambulance does not transport poultry, the police were called. The owner of the shelter that the rooster was taken to says she's never experienced anything like this before. She further said, "I also don't understand why someone dumps him in a hotel room. That is, of course, no place for a rooster." Great ending to a great story and a great week. The moral of the story is, you've all got filthy minds and you all thought something different. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe if you fancy. Also, if there's any other news that you think that we might have missed, please get in touch at the email below. See you next time for another jam-packed news you might have missed.